these days I'll remember to send you that audio so you can actually hear.
Hey, as long as the people hear it, it doesn't matter. That's fine.
They definitely hear it. I just feel bad. I'm like, I need to. My co-host needs to like be immersed in all of the stuff, and I'm like every time because I'll tell you. You know what? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you a little background as to why things are the way they are. So the way the board works is anything that comes down that USB line on my computer, you can hear, right? If I play a video game and I'm talking to people on Discord and I have my earbuds in, I need to be able to hear that audio back to me. Because I have earbuds in, right? Well, I don't want them hearing the game because then it becomes a loop for them, right? So I turn it off. So every time I game with people, I turn that source off so they can't hear it. And then my dum-dum can't remember to turn it back on for Mr. Bricks O'Brien. And then once we're already live and recording, I can't make those adjustments. Like I can't turn those sources on and off once I'm recording in the board. So it's just it's a thing. I apologize. Eventually I will become as much of a professional as Mr. Bricks O'Brien. But thank goodness he's here to help class up Z&B Live. The Unfiltered Lego podcast. Welcome in on this Wednesday morning live on YouTube, which you can check us live on YouTube every time we do this show. If you'd like to participate in all of the conversation going on in chat, our conversation with us, and exclusively on YouTube during these live shows, you can catch us for the pre-show afterwards. So if you're already in chat right now, don't forget to hang out until after the show is over because we'll be back and we'll be able to discuss anything that we talked about. If you guys have opinions or takes or whatever on anything that we discussed during this hour-long show, we'd love to hear from you. So do that. If you're not live with us, if you're watching after the fact or listening after the fact, don't forget to add your comments in the YouTube channel and the YouTube video. And hey, by the way, you can't just watch us. You can also listen to us because we have podcast versions of this audio podcast versions of this on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, I'm assuming all podcasts. I'm assuming the tendrils just get out there and they just connect to everything.
You need to have a better grasp on where the show actually goes because we have people that like exclusively listen there, and that's been the case for a while. Like,
well, okay,
you're just like it just goes out into the ether and.
Hey, listen. I've done enough audio podcasts in my day. I know that RSS feed gets picked up and pushes out everywhere. Like it does get picked. You don't have to just submit it to Pandora. You know what I mean? Like it can get picked up by certain sites. So it's just wherever you happen to absorb your podcast at and digest your it's out there. It's out there. It's available. Just get out there and find it. And the best thing you can do is subscribe to wherever you do that. Leave comments if you could. And if you're over here on the YouTube side of it, like, subscribe, do all those things, comment, and enjoy the heckin' show. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, we are getting so close to the end of the year. And we've got new stuff cooking for 2025. Take us through it, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. What's cooking in 2025 for Z&B Live?
You have too much energy this early in the morning.
It's going to be weird. It's going to flip, I think, right? Like it's
totally going to flip, and I'm looking forward to it. So as we are having the show, putting it out there, and staying more consistent with what we want to do, this is kind of taking a life of its own. We want to see it through for all of 2025, and the best way to get it out into the world and have it be a little bit more visible on its own pillar on the internet is having it on its own YouTube channel, which is where Z&B Live, the podcast, is going to go. It's no longer going to be on the channel YouTube-wise. You're actively watching it on. It will be on a brand new channel, which I'm now linking in the live chat here. If you are listening on the audio renditions of the show. Nothing is changing, so nothing to worry about there. No new podcast feed or anything like that. But there is a brand new YouTube channel. Go and subscribe there. That's where you're going to see full live shows, highlights, and clips from our weekly broadcast. And it's going to be at a brand new time, 7 p.m. Eastern every Thursday. So hopefully we don't get caught off guard with some last-minute news, because all these multi-billion-dollar corporations never release good news on Friday, so we can bank on that. Now, bad news, that's the day you release the bad news, which we actually learned with Disney and Muppet Vision. So proved the point immediately. So all the good news will be covered in that end-of-week recap Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So go subscribe on YouTube or listen on podcast services. The next day, it'll be uploaded, so you'll be good to go.
You and I haven't had a chance to really talk about this whole Muppet Vision 3D thing, and I know it's completely off topic of anything that we have to discuss today, but I feel compelled.
The post show, Zach.
Oh no, I gotta know. Like, are you excited about the fact that they're changing Rock and Roller Coaster at least to Muppets? Like, is that softening the blow at all?
So I like Muppets. I am a big Muppet fan. I sometimes exude big Muppet energy, as the people have told me. So I have respect for Muppets having their own area in the Disney portfolio, especially in the parks. Muppet Vision 3D, last thing Jim Henson worked on before he passed away, obviously carries a lot of weight in that way. The show is definitely very 90s, and a lot of things do not hold up on the technological side, but also the Muppet side. You know, there's things that if Jim Henson were alive, we definitely would have gotten a revamp at some point, right? So I'm all in favor of Rock and Roller Coaster becoming about the Electric Mayhem. I love Aerosmith. No reason to be in a Disney park, so we can just move on, you know, get that over with. Kids are not going to care about Aerosmith as much as I do, or anyone else does, even older than me. When I went to the concert at Fenway Park, my cousin and I were the youngest there at like 26 years old. So, yeah. So that's good. I think that Muppet Vision doesn't need to be in that building, but it does need to exist in some way in the form that it currently is in. Doesn't need to be on Disney Plus. Don't put it on Disney Plus. It's not going to be the same. But what the Galaxy Brain play here is what should happen, Zach. The most moving experience I had going to Hollywood Studios was going to the Walt Disney Museum, where it takes you through his entire life, beginning from Steamboat Willie all the way to the newest stuff with a showcase. And then at the end, there's a film that plays about his life. What you do is you make a Jim Henson Museum in Hollywood Studios in that courtyard where Rock and Roller Coaster is. And you have, at the very end of it, the original Muppet Vision, as uncompromised as it can possibly be, as the finale and the magnum opus of Jim Henson's life. That's what they should do, along with Rock and Roller Coaster. That's my play.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll wait and see. I was just curious how, you know, if I was really hurt when they announced they were taking it away, but I was a little bit more happy when I found out that at least Muppets were still going to have some kind of presence with the revamp of that thing. And frankly, you know, Muppet Vision 3D is, you said it, it's dated. The what's the big monster name? Sweetums? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. The error in that show with him has always bothered me, even as like a young child when I saw it for the first time, has bothered me. The fact that the actor playing him, the live action character, is always at the front of the theater, and then he's actually in the video playing as they bust through the wall, always has bothered me. And it's like, why have they let that go for so many years? Like, they just didn't care. They just let it go. They just like, whatever. So it's time for it to go. And, you know, I would have rather them just updated it and done something else. But, you know, is Muppets relevant, you know, these days? I don't know. You know, I know we've recently had a amazing CMF Muppet line that hit just a couple years ago, and it was loved and it was amazing. And what it told me that Muppets still seem to be a little bit relevant, but you know, who knows? Who knows? But we've got a lot of Lego news to get into, and a I think a spicy conversation coming up, because Brian and I are both going to be giving. I gave Brian $1,000. Of course, I had to give myself $1,000 too, but I gave Brian $1,000 to play with and go shopping with it at Lego. And he told me today, he was like, I was having a hard time figuring out how to spend that $1,000. I was like, what? Did not expect that to happen. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little interesting, but we do have some quick hits, some quick information coming out of Lego this week. Obviously, we are in the holiday push. Black Friday is right around the corner, and Lego, not to be outdone by anybody else, has some spicy deals popping up all the way back to last weekend, with lots of sales, double insider points, and that stuff is going to continue on through Black Friday. Now, Brian and I talked about these two, what I kind of thought were pretty cool gift with purchases, the record player and the holiday train, being available during Insider's weekend. And I didn't think they would last through. I thought they would burn all of the inventory they had in that first weekend. One of two things happened. Either they went against their norm and actually had enough inventory to survive and last, which is not normal, or people held on to their money during Insider's weekend and decided to wait it out and see what happened on Black Friday. And sure enough, they still have inventory available for these gift with purchases, for the record player, for the holiday train, as well as a couple other ones that you can get on Cyber Monday and in-store purchases only. So, you know me, I'm going to the Lego store on Black Friday. I'm buying the Endurance, and that's going to net me not one, not two, not even three, but 4 gift with purchases, because I'm going into the store to get it. Now, I'm assuming Mr. Brooks O'Brien is not getting anything on Black Friday. He's going to watch and laugh at all of us waiting in line at 6 o'clock in the morning, because, you know, that's what he does. But they are rolling out some other things that you can get for technically no money, if you count points as no money. They are offering up a tic-tac-toe board, which is basically just a space battle pack. And I know all the space crazies are going to be all over this for 2,400 points. Is this even on your radar at all? As kind of like a nostalgia kind of thing for you, Brian, or you're just going to save your points? Not even a little bit. Not even a little
bit.
The Marine chronometer is another one, and I don't really see this being a thing for you either, but once again, it just fits within the Endurance, and all kind of ties together really well, and I love it. And I want all of the GWPs in that ugly yellow box, and just give me all 4,800 points are just going to go poof, gone. But hey,
have fun. I'm not.
This is totally fine. But the big news that they came out with this week was they announced another January 1st Lego set in the Leonardo da Vinci's Flying Machine. And I have seen 2 different camps on this set. I have seen people that are going, oh my gosh. And there have been people like my co-host here going, Brian, why don't you like this set?
I don't see a reason for it to exist. I don't know. I don't know why this exists. In a time where we have a company that designs products for children, toys. These are toys designed for children. Plastic bricks that go together. Yeah, some are marketed toward adults. Yeah, whatever. I cannot think of a single person in all of my years that has been in my circles in the Lego community and beyond and said, you know what we need? You know what the people want? You know what I want to allocate my funds to is a Lego model of Da Vinci's flying machine. Of all the things we could be spending our very valuable creative energy, resources, and time on, I don't see this as something really. No child can get excited about. Like, there is not a single kid that is going to wake up on Christmas. I'm sorry, going to Christmas Eve 2024 and say, "Oh my goodness, I really wish this is under my tree from a big Saint Nick this morning. I really hope that I get some Christmas cash so I can spend that on January 1st, 2025, and buy that for myself." There's just no reason for this to exist, and
Brian, it's an 18 plus set. It's not
I don't
for
care.
kids.
I can't think of a set I am more disinterested in seeing. And actually, I can. There actually is another one. I don't know if we'll end up talking about it today, but man, am I not excited for this. Man, if it were not for like the Super Mario stuff, this is all within my vernacular, of course. If it weren't for those couple of sets and those couple of themes, we've had a lot of these sets that have come out where I'm like, why is this happening? Why are we doing this? I don't know.
Here's you want to hear my hot take on it? I love this. Okay. I love the idea of it. This should have been a gift with purchase with the Mona Lisa.
Yes, wholeheartedly.
This should have been a gift with purchase with the Mona Lisa.
You know what? You're totally correct. Why is this not something that when you spend $250, you get and there are Lego sets that have come out that absolutely could have justifiably been their own product, like these stupid lightsabers people keep freaking out about. But then why does something like this, which is so unbelievably niche, get its own full retail release that's going to warm up a shelf for 18 months until it goes to be retired, and then some history nerd 50 years later is going to want that as a sealed in box thing and add it to their collection? It makes absolutely no sense. That's my biggest.
Do you think that the love of people, the love that people have for collectible minifigs and things like that, do you think that the Da Vinci minifig is going to entice people to snag it before it goes on sale, or do you think people are going to be waiting for a 10% off kind of thing?
I can think of approximately one person who is into historical figures that would want this as part of their Lego collection. Maybe the same people who are into the Van Gogh set, but even then, that's an art set. That's not you're not buying Starry Night for the Vincent Van Gogh minifigure. You're buying it because it's Starry Night. So that has no credence at all. I don't know who this is for. I don't know who this is for at $50 as a full retail release and not as a gift of purchase for January 1st.
That's the thing. It's such at $50. It's like it's affordable enough for people. Like you just see $50 and you're like, okay, adult 18 plus adult set Lego. It's got the black box. It's like okay, and then you kind of see exactly how big it is and what it is, and that was the thing that popped into my head last night. Really looking at the set was. This feels like the fell beast. Like this feels like a really high-end GWP that we should have gotten with another set of some kind.
So why did we get Galileo as a gift of purchase and not this?
Right, exactly, right? Like it's the, Eiffel's apartment. Like it's the same, it's along the same kind of lines. And the design of it's neat, but it's also very similar to the same style, same build as what we've gotten with those Harry Potter, the dragon, the phoenix, the owl. Like we've seen this. Like it's just reskinned. It's no different than a helmet. Like it's just reskinned. It's going to be the same thing. So this again, I just feel like what we're getting here at $50. Those gift with purchases are range anywhere between a value of 30 and a value of 50, right? Like it's right in that sweet spot of a gift. And maybe the Mona Lisa maybe is just not an expensive enough set to warrant something like this, but it does make the most sense to tie it in with that because of the subject matter. But I don't know. I just don't understand why they decided to put this on shelf as a separate thing, other than the fact that This is now the second time where I've seen a set that I felt like should have been a free gift with purchase that has now been put on a shelf as a standalone buy it now set. And it was the post office truck that went along with the Santa's post office set for this holiday season. And maybe that's Lego listening, saying, we hear your complaints about these lightsabers not being available for sale and we run out of them too quickly, and they're placating to those people.
Well, that truck should have been included with the set itself, but those Winter Village sets can't go over $100. So I think that's part of that. And yeah, traditionally, but the when you're talking about like what is mass appealing that should be a Lego set, to me, a holiday truck that accompanies the thing you're already buying for $100, that's a very easy sell, especially as a stocking stuffer. I know, big stocking stuffer, but one nonetheless. The Da Vinci flying machine is so niche. It's so niche.
Look how small that is.
Like I
like that's a set. Like that's a set that you're buying for $50.
It's so niche. And the lightsaber, you could have had that as its own thing and release one of those every 6 months for the next 20 years, and they would all sell because people want them, and it makes a collection. This has no reason to exist as an actual set. I'm over it.
No, I don't disagree with you as a standalone set. I think this is a great set. I just don't think it's a great set as a standalone purchase. I think that's the point I want to get across. Great set, interesting set. Love the idea of it. Don't love it as a standalone purchase on the shelf that I got to go spend $50. This is going to be one of those ones I'm going to be searching at Kohl's, Amazon, Target, and hoping for a 10 to 20% off sale. Give it to me at Costco. Give me the early Costco release discount of 25%. Throw it out there in the Costco warehouse at 25% off, and I'll snag it. I'll snag it up. But day one, absolutely not. Like there is no way that this is happening on day one. Other news and notes coming out right now is that we've kind of started to see some traction now with the Lego Formula One partnership. They're inviting, some of our good friends out to races to help do activations, Lego activations at the races, and we're starting to see now some of these sets being released. One of which, or available for pre-order and announced and whatnot. One of which is the one that we kind of expected. It's a Technic set. We figured we'd get another Technic car. And we're also getting more Speed Champion size and style sets that are running a lot of the different teams and drivers out there. But I'm looking at this stuff, Brian, and I'm saying, okay, it's just more of the same as opposed to one or two F1 releases through the year. Now we're getting 7. Okay. Like, is that all that we're going to expect with this partnership? Where's the game changer here? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not an F1 fan, so I'm not going to resonate with this particular property as much as some other people. And I know that people have been talking about the nuance in the detail of some of these Speed Champion sets. Don't get me wrong. The Speed Champion cars, I've seen them, in people's hands. I've seen how large and how intricate they really are. They look great. I'm not a Speed Champions collector, and I don't want to get into that because that's a whole other theme that I don't need to be messing with right now. But there is some pretty cool stuff going on. Amazon's got a big deal about you could buy like all of them like as one big package kind of thing. Like there's some cool stuff going on there, but it's really just a lot of the same thing with just slight nuance changes. Is this all we're going to expect from F1?
There could be more. It's not something that we would see in the US. It's not something, although it does resonate in the US. It's generally kind of like soccer here. Not really as much. It's growing here, definitely in the US, right? With F1, but it's a very international sort of a thing, right? I commend Lego for doing Lego sets across the entire Lego portfolio. Like, this has been the most comprehensive they've done for a collaboration, maybe ever, where they have something from Duplo to system to the $7 price point entry with those boxes, however much they cost, all the way to the Technic supercar, the brick built models, the whole. They tackled everything all at once, which makes me believe, maybe this could be the only thing. They want to see how it goes, whatever. They even have something in Lego City. So they're not just having the different types of system, but then also different themes that this thing is just all covering, right? And obviously, those boxes are kind of Lego's answer to Hot Wheels, even though Hot Wheels are very inexpensive compared to that, but that's kind of where that is. I am very curious to see how they sell stateside. I look at all those Speed Champions cars. I'm like, yep, there's a dozen of the same car. Yep, there's a dozen of the same car in those blind boxes. I have nothing, zero, beyond zero, beyond -0 connection or affiliation or interest or anything pertaining to F1 at all. There's actually a massive issue that I have with one of these sets, though, Zach. I don't know if you saw me or other people comment on it, but with actually a couple of these cars specifically, if you don't mind that we get into it. I don't know if you saw this discussion anywhere.
Are you talking about the 18 plus?
Are they labeled 18 plus?
I believe so. They're the ones with Red Bull, the sponsorships like designate adult. They're putting the adult designation on them because of the sponsorships.
Okay.
And then the one specific one that's not. This is, I don't know if you're going to get into. Are you talking about the green channel? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Please talk about it, because I was going to talk to you about this. Okay. Please.
So for context, there are two cars specifically that F1 has relations with pertaining to advertising deal, whatever. One of them is Red Bull, obviously an energy drink that we've all known, very closely associated with high octane sports, whatever. They generally sponsor a bunch of different stuff, and you can't have an energy drink affiliated with a product marketed to children. So that's why it is an 18 plus set, which, by the way, I guarantee you, anytime you see that at a Target, at a Kohl's, a Walmart, a Lego store, they are all going to be in the same section.
Oh, yeah.
So putting 18 plus on a box does not mean a single thing. It means nothing, zero. So let's stop pretending it does mean something.
It's the cigarette thing all over again, right? Like the Camel advertising. Like, it's odd that Lego decided to include these, even if they're putting the 18 plus on it, because it's still a toy geared towards children. Like, that's what they're advertising, but they're putting a sponsorship geared towards adult. Like, it's a interesting line they're walking with this, and it goes beyond that. So
we'll take that a step further, where one of the cars that participates with F1, one of the sponsors, is from a company called Stake, which Stake is a gambling platform where people can go on, spend a bunch of money, gamble. We all know what gambling is, right? We're all adults for the most part. And instead of having the gambling company on the side of the Lego car, what they've decided to do was put the Kick symbol on there, which Kick is a live streaming platform that is a subsidiary of Stake. Now, Kick, it's another live streaming platform, like a YouTube, like a Twitch, like a whatever. It is almost exclusively funded by the parent company that makes their money entirely off of gambling, and the number one category on Kick is gambling. It is a website where you can not only watch people gamble with their money and other people's money, with the platform's money, but there's also creators on that platform that generally go there when they are no longer wanted on other platforms. A lot of content that is not terms of service friendly with Twitch or YouTube, especially not for Lego, a toy that is marketed for children. My biggest issue with this, Zach, and I've said this a bunch of times before, that Lego does not like Twitch. They don't like live streaming. They don't like the unpredictability of somebody going live with their product as an ambassador, as a whatever, and saying, hey, blah, 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 because they can go off on a tangent and say something stupid that Lego doesn't agree with, which is why I firmly believe you will not see Lego collaborate with Twitch and welcome in Twitch creators into the Ambassador Network. They just don't like that unpredictability. But they have the audacity to put a website that is a live streaming website that actively promotes gambling from all of their top creators. So when a kid sees that in a Lego store, they're going to go, what is Kick? They're going to Google it, and then they're going to be opened up to a whole world of stuff that they shouldn't be because they're a child. So you could put that 18 plus moniker on that box all you want to. That doesn't matter, Lego. You're endorsing a website that endorses gambling. You are promoting a gambling website. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be very disappointed in the fact that you have so many people who live stream on YouTube and Twitch and anywhere else, and you don't give them the light of day for a hot second because it doesn't correlate with whatever your vision is for live content creators. But then you have the audacity to take that money from F1, from wherever, and put that on your box and endorse it for kids. I don't care if it's part of F1. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever your corporate reason is for it, I don't care. It's awful. It's disgusting. It's disappointing. And I'm unbelievably disappointed that you're not able to work with other creators, but instead you're going to promote Kick like that. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sickening.
These sets don't come out. So, you know, some people have pointed out, even in our live chat right here, they don't know. They don't realize they don't have their ear to the ground on this stuff.
I don't care.
They know.
Stupid
they
excuse.
know now.
Stupid.
They know now.
It's stupid.
And so my question is, now that they know, these sets don't come out. I know they're already in boxes. I know they're probably already shipped.
They'll do
or
nothing
whatever.
about it.
You don't think they walk this back? You don't think,
No.
as a family company, as a company geared to making toys for children, they don't walk this back? They don't take the time to pull these things from shelves and say, absolutely not. We made a mistake. We've got to get this one off the shelf. You don't think so?
No, because it's something involving F1 that they feel very compelled to stick with. The fact they literally had a graphic designer put it on a sticker to then be applied to the Lego set. There is no way that these people didn't realize what was going on at all. And I don't, they very consciously made this decision. This wasn't an Osprey situation where, the vehicle has been used for civilian use or for medical use, whatever, but it's largely associated with military. So they're going to, knock that off. And that's a whole just one set, right? This is part of a greater lineup of sets that are coming out, big push across all the platforms or whatever. If you take this off, you also have to take the Red Bull one off. That's a part of this whole thing. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. There's no way they're going to do it. And that makes it even more shameful.
Not wrong. Not wrong indeed. We have some new updated retiring set lists coming out, and one of the ones that it's being showcased here, one of the ones that's been high on people's lists that they kind of held off on was the Hogwarts Express. It is no longer available on the Lego website, as well as some of the other sets on the retiring list are currently in back order. And once they hit the retiring list and go into back order, then it becomes a little shady whether or not you're actually going to get it. We have mutual friends that have tried to purchase sets that were on back order that then their order was canceled after, even though it was on back order still, it was actually canceled. The Hogwarts Express, as an example, is no longer available on Lego.com, but it is currently available, FYI, over on Amazon for a discount. So you can get some money off. If you are still in the market for a Hogwarts Express, it is available over on Amazon right now. Don't know how long that's going to last through Black Friday, because these sets are retiring at the end of the year. Brian, with the new retiring list out right now, is there one set on this list that if Mr. Bricks O'Brien didn't own or was going to encourage anybody to pull the trigger on, what would be that one retiring set that you say, do not miss out on this one, you're gonna regret it?
Well, let me just say, first of all, with that Hogwarts Express, you had your time, my guy. Listen. That thing that thing has been on sale actually last Black Friday for 30% off. So you've had plenty of time.
You've had plenty of time.
You've had plenty of time.
Well, I mean, it's not a cheap set, and there's a lot of sets like that on the retiring list. We've talked about this. Sometimes these sets you hold on to the money, but then something else comes out that you feel like you really want or need beforehand, and then all of a sudden it starts getting pushed further and further down. Ecto 1, further and further down the list until all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I never got it, and now you had your time, but other things took priority to get it. So what's that set, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, on your list that you said absolutely not, do not miss out on this?
I have The Office on my list, and it's retiring.
Wow.
So I gotta get that.
The Office is on your list.
Yeah, I love The Office, so why not, right? When it comes to, I mean, but if you don't like the show, you're not gonna care at all.
No.
Like it's not even a question. Other than that, I know you were talking about the Hoopty because it's on sale, and I'm like,
well, if there was ever a time to get the Hoopty because it's on sale, it's still expensive at $60. It's like, but as far as retiring sets, I'll tell you right now, as far as retiring sets go, if you haven't pulled the trigger on the Star Wars Cantina set, dude, you're never going to see a set like that again with those minifigs ever again. Like, you have to. It's the Daily Bugle of Star Wars. You have to buy that because you want to talk about a set that's going to skyrocket in value after it's gone. That will be the set. Out of all of the sets on their list for retiring in 2020, at the end of 2024, that set will balloon in price in the secondary market.
Oh, here's one for sure. Temple of the Golden Idol and everything Indiana Jones. Do not miss out on Indiana Jones. I will tell you right now that Indiana Jones will not come back until 2033. I'm not kidding. It's not coming back anytime soon. And, if ever, because they came out with Indiana Jones. They had the Temple of Doom set that never came out for whatever reason, and they also didn't do anything new with the new movie. So that was their way of like testing the water and whatever, and then clearly did not resonate because what was it called? Dial of Destiny was all right. It wasn't amazing. So
good, not great.
Yeah. So I would get that for sure. A lot of people are fans of the question mark block and can't wait to get it. You definitely need to get that. A lot of Mario is retiring. So those would be the ones on my list.
So Office is just all of those. So there's not one specific set you're like, absolutely go out and get this set because of X, Y, or Z. Like, I know the Office is on your list, but that's kind of a niche set, right? There's not one specific set that you're saying from building to value to
Temple of the Golden Idol.
Temple of the Golden Idol. Okay. I think it's a good one because I think you're right. I think Indiana Jones has a potential of becoming just not relevant for a really, really long time. We got a new video game coming out later this month, but I just don't know if it's going to continue to be a relevant property that's at the forefront of people's minds, unfortunately, which sucks. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, but that's kind of a bummer. Now, if I gave you $1,000, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, if I gave you $1,000, how many of these retiring sets are you getting? Are you getting any retiring sets? What sets are you, in fact, getting with your $1,000?
So I actually phrased this in a way like, what's the best $1,000 value for you? I didn't do like $1,000 of my wish list necessarily. So,
okay. I wanted to see.
Yeah. Well, did you want $1,000 of my wish list?
I was just curious. Like, if you only had, because your wish list spans like, what do you say, 3,000-4,000 or something like that?
3.
So you would have to really pare that down to get.
Yeah, I can do that though. Yeah, that's fine.
So what do you think? What would be that list of? I find that hard. Like, you were having a hard time coming up with $1,000. I'm having a hard time paring it down. Like,
I was coming up with $1,000 of stuff like what would I buy if I had everything from nothing, like $1,000 right now, like what would I buy?
Yeah.
Like that was difficult. Now, oh yeah, I can pare down $1,000 easily. Number one is the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy. Absolutely, unequivocally, I want that very badly, and it's just been on the list, and I haven't gotten a chance to get it yet.
Who's doing the math on this? We got to check Brian's math here.
No. I got it right here. I got it. So there's that. How could you not want the most ultimate version of the Milano that's ever come out? It's perfect. It's a perfect Lego set.
I'm still working on this set. I need to finish it.
Yeah, you do. Number 2, the Super Mario World, Mario and Yoshi. Don't have that one yet.
I'm surprised you don't have that one yet. You know what I mean? That's shocking.
Everybody has built it besides me, and I'm very disappointed in myself. There's just been other stuff that's come up, right? Like I have Nightmare now with the light kit.
See, it keeps dropping in the right, like it's dropping in the queue, and then all of a sudden it's going to retire. And I'm going to tell you, Brian, you had plenty of opportunity to buy it, my guy.
No, that's going to get purchased way before it's retired for sure. Yeah, it's on the list. I mean,
all right, you've got less than 700 left to play with. Less than 700.
Fortnite Battle Bus for sure.
Oh, Fortnite, huh?
Totally 1,000%, man. Need that. Absolutely. Undoubtedly so.
This is still, this thing went out of stock and has been out of stock since it came out. Yeah,
it's still around though.
It's around, but it's just like it's hard to find. Yeah. People went nuts over this.
As this is happening, I'm also clearing out my wish list. With the modular that we know it's going to be, I'm like, I don't really want that one. And then I also took off the X Mansion because you and everyone else is like, this is
dude, the X Mansion. I'm only 10 bags in, and I say that it's like only 10 bags, but like, yo, something's got to change with this set. Like something has to happen with this set in order for me to be like, okay, like it has arrived, you know, like that's what I'm waiting on the expansion. And so far, 10 bags in, nothing has that. Like this has been the most boring meh of a set that I have built in a very long time.
Well, you keep waiting there, my guy. Next up is going to be. This is kind of a boring one, but I don't have the Santa's post office and delivery truck yet, so that's $120 right there. Okay. One of those guys. I would maybe get it Black Friday weekend, but I think I got enough keeping me occupied, so I'll probably get it during the holiday this season and build it for myself or whatever.
I mean, I would wait on that one, right? Because it'll go on sale next year, and then you could have it.
No, it doesn't go on sale.
It'll go on sale next year, right? No?
No, they generally don't go on sale.
Oh, okay. All right.
Were you keeping track of the prices or?
Heck yeah, I got you at 509, baby. You got less than $500.
Cool.
Good list so far, though. Good list.
Yeah. And for me personally, you know, it has to happen. It's the meme. It's the dream. It's Deku Tree at $299. Has to be. Absolutely has to be. Like, if there's any Lego set that like,
that's a big chunk of your budget.
I know it is. Well, you know, other than like the sail barge, there's actually a lot of stuff that's on my list that is not actually available yet, like Mario Kart and Animal Crossing.
Well, this is stuff that you can go out and get on Black Friday. If I gave you $1,000 on Black Friday, that's the idea.
Yes, correct. We'll go with $100 and we'll make it the magic of Disney. I know that Mickey looks a little demented, but I like Sorcerer Mickey enough, and all those minifigs go great with the existing Mirabelle and the Inevitable Beast. We got Pinocchio. You know, there's good stuff here, so I'm game.
As a Disney fan, I want this set. I don't love this set, and I worry of what it would actually look like when it's done, and just how much of a it would. But the Disney fan in me is like, I kind of want it, but I can't. Like $100. This is at a man. If I literally found $100 on the ground, I might go get it, kind of thing.
Also, Kevin in our live chat is correct. If Zach gave Brian $1,000, he'd commission more Pro Gamers Guide art for the fan club. Join today. What's my
Lego
budget?
cash. It's only Lego cash. That's the only place you can spend it.
Worst kind of cash. How much do I have left?
You have $91. $91.
Okay, so we'll call it 90 or 100, I guess. Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll do the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit as a prelude to when I get Jabba's Sail Barge for my birthday. So, Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit.
Okay.
We'll just call it there. Because tax. Massachusetts tax is 6.25. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna hit that. So, yeah. So, $79.99 and with the grand total of $989.93. So, you're right there. You add the tax. You are right there, my dude. Well done. Money, baby. Well done. And that's a good, I mean, we've got Mario in there. We've got Star Wars in there. We've got Disney in there. Let's see what else did you have in there? You had
Fortnite,
Nintendo, Fortnite. So I mean that's a solid Christmas. That's a really solid list there. I'm digging it. I don't have any real complaints or anything like that. What it was interesting, you didn't have any retiring sets in there. You're not making that push to get anything that's going to be gone relatively soon.
Well, Office right now is out of stock, so I would have added that there, but it's out of stock.
But the Fortnite bus is out of stock. You can't call that. Would you supplement out? Would you switch out the Fortnite bus with the Office? Is more expensive though, isn't it?
Yeah, so it'd have to stay where it's at.
Office is. Are there not
$20 more?
It's $20 more. So you'd have to. Yeah, that messes up your whole.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, I'll get it. I'm sure there's somebody out there that like doesn't want it, and I can make a trade with them at that point. It's fine. It's fine.
See, he's trying to circumvent the situation there. Those aren't the rules, my guy.
What, Zach? What's your list, man? What do we got?
Okay, so my list, I went definitely quantity over, I guess, what you would call quality because of how much like things are. You know what I mean? Like I'm calling quality over like price, right? Like I'm saying, a sail barge at $500 has got more quality apparently than some of these other sets, kind of thing. So these are sets that if somebody were to give me $1,000 and said, "Hey, go spend $1,000 on Lego cash only," these are the sets that I would look at and say, okay, these are the sets that have been on my wish list for a while that I haven't been able to pull the trigger on myself, that I would like to see in my backlog and eventually on a shelf of some kind. The Magic of Disney is one of them. I am a Disney fan. I'm having a hard time justifying pulling a trigger on a $100 Disney set that looks like a mess. I had the same feeling about the Little Mermaid set. Like it wasn't a set that resonated with me, and it was like, but as a Disney fan, I kind of get it, but I'm like, I can't. This set to me is just a mess. The Magic at Disney set just looks like a big mess of a set. Like it just doesn't have any cohesive flow to who they're including and why they're including them. The Mickey looks weird, but it's like, how do you miss out? You've collected all the other Disney sets outside of the Little Mermaid one. Like, how do you miss out on it, right? And that's to me, it stands out that way. The Battle Bus. I'm not a huge Fortnite fan. I enjoy playing it when I can play with friends. But the Battle Bus as a set looks incredible.
Right.
The minifigs look amazing, right? Like this set at $100 has some of the best value right now on the entire website, in the entire Lego catalog. This set right here is some of the best value you could ever get with a Lego set. It's the new Galaxy Explorer of Lego. Like it just is. It's amazing value for and with a themed licensed property, this set should not exist. It should not be available at all, right? Sticking in the Fortnite realm, the Peely. Again, not a Fortnite fan, But this Peely set is interesting. This is a neat set. It's different. Obviously it's just a display thing. I feel like the build would be peculiar and wild, and I'm sure that, you know, some of the techniques in order to do some of the stuff they're doing in there and the pieces that they're using will be interesting. Like, I'm really, really curious about how that set comes together. And it's going to be a conversation starter. If somebody sees it on your shelf, it's going to catch their eye because of how just morbid it is, right? And that I like that. I like those conversation starter sets. So it's one of the reasons why I like the typewriter so much, is that it's a set that people see and they think, oh, you're just a collector of old typewriters, and they realize it's Lego, and you're like, whoa, wait, what? Not, you know, on top of which it was kind of cool to build. The Helicarrier, you know, this is a set that kind of just fell off the radar for a lot of people because of the price, because of the stickers. I think even though we're getting more of them in 2025, I really feel like the time of the MIDI ship is done. Unless you can start including some minifigures in here to entice people to buy them, I think Lego needs to move beyond them. They kind of keep going back to the well on some of these things. The MIDI ships, the helmets. We're supposed to be getting more helmets. We're supposed to be getting more MIDI ships, especially in the Star Wars world in 2025. I don't know if that's the right play here, but they continue to make them. I personally enjoy micro builds. So for me, the MIDI, this small mini helicarrier, as an Avengers fan, as a Marvel fan, like, it's very high up there. I really want to see it's making a model without using the model style, gluing pieces together, snapping like that kind of old, as I was a kid, you buying old model cars and model ships and model battleships and stuff. Like, that's what these MIDI ships remind me of. And it's nostalgia for me, going back to those old model making days as a child. So I really, really like that. You
better be getting that, because you're not going to get that full-size helicarrier, my guy. It's not happening.
I know. Can they please?
No, I just mean a new one. I don't even mean getting the old one. I mean a new one.
I know, a new one. They need to make a new one. I think they don't have a whole lot else that they can dig into for the Marvel larger ship, larger set, whatever. And you know, I feel like that would be the next logical step for them, but they're not doing. Hope Brian's doing the math here. I've got the math covered. I'm going to show you how much
he has the list. Yeah,
I'm going to show you how much this costs. The Dancing Groot was, again, one of those sets that I just kind of felt like fell off the map for people. I think it came out at a time that was odd, and it was kind of overloaded with sets.
Why? I'll tell you why.
Tell me
we've
why.
had too much Grootification in the Lego realm. We've had regular baby Groot, Venomized Groot, Dancing Groot, all the different variants of Groot. We've done Grooted. We've done the Grooty Groot.
We've been Grooted.
We're good. We don't.
I don't think
anything. We don't need Venomized anything in Lego form, let alone Venomized Groot. No,
I don't think you're wrong. I think Groot's time is done. They can't. I mean, come on. You know what they're going to do? They're going to make another buildable Groot fig. Now that we have Swole Groot from the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, that'll be the next buildable fig that we get. Big Swole Groot.
But they should do it with New Guardians, like from the end of 3.
That's what I'm saying. The end of 3, where he's like all you know, whatever big. And
I mean, you have to have all the variants of Groot. I really want them, and they're not going to do it because they know better. But the first Groot that ever came out, which is in the Nowhere Escape, that was actually the first Lego set I bought as a Lego store employee. Fun fact. And they're not going to redo it because all of the joint pieces are light bluish gray instead of brown. So that Groot looks horrific. But one day they have to redo it.
I stuck in the Marvel theme a lot with this list because I've really been holding off on a lot of Marvel sets, just because none of these sets were worth it to me to buy when they came out. And again, they all kind of came out at the same time, and they were all like, you know, right. I don't know.
You want the Avengers diorama base plate?
The assemble? Yeah.
But aren't all those minifigures in Avengers Tower?
Same style. Yeah.
Guess what's the point for you?
It's just a smaller set that you can put up on the shelf in a different area.
Zach, look at your shelves. Where are they going?
Hey, man. man. Hey, I have reasons. Okay,
Without me batting an eye, I can see Spider-Man, some plants, some brickheads, the Avengers Tower. The Cap Shield isn't the bricker one. You have the Black Panther bust, the Mjolnir, the question mark blood. I'm just casually looking back there.
But it's
right?
a cool diorama thing with like the truck, and it represents a great scene from a
Shut
movie.
Up, move on. Go ahead. What?
Along with that same thing, the Iron Man and Iron Legion. I don't have any Iron Legion minifigs, so that's basically what this translates to. Is give me a couple Iron Legion minifigs and stuff like that with this that correlates with the other thing. But it was also just a way to fill out the wish list to $20, or give me 20 more bucks that I needed to spend on something. Because I'm going for the $1,000. By God. I'm doing it. Rocket and Baby Groot. The buildable Rocket figure, I think, is kind of nightmare fuelish, but I've got the other buildable figs like the Groot and the Chewbacca and the what. Like, I might as well have this, right? I'm such a Spider-Man fan that. Oh, and by the way, that Rocket and Baby Groot is on sale. It's currently for insider points only, or insider people only. Spider-Man fig. I'm such a Spider-Man fan. I don't have a buildable Spider-Man. I would love a little Spider-Man figure, on my shelf, doing something, to somebody's face or whatever, just give me something like that. Star-Lord helmet. Once again, these helmets, I feel like the helmets need to die. The helmets need to, whatever. This is a place to put all my pencils and markers and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's all it is. The F1, the McLaren, it's one of those sets that I was kind of like really looking at a lot of the times. I myself am more of an IndyCar fan. I grew up with IndyCar, live in Indianapolis. Indy 500 has always been a big deal. I've had a family. I used to go to the track every, weekend in May, and like that was where I lived. And I feel like I would like to see some kind of representation of some kind of racing in my collection. And if it has to be F1, it has to be F1. I would rather see it be an IndyCar scenario here. Harry Potter, boy, I tell you what, this Tri-Wizard tournament, the Arrival set with the ship and the buggy and everything, what happened to this set? Because this set looked amazing. This set looked incredible and priced pretty well, and nobody be talking about it. And I was a little confused by the fact that nobody be talking about this set. This set looks great. And I don't know if it's the lack of minifigures to go with it. I'm not sure what the issue was with that and why nobody really went for it or why nobody really got it. But nobody was really talking about that set. And along with the same...
I can tell you why with Harry Potter in general in another episode.
And along with the same Harry Potter lines, I personally would love a Patronus. This is one of those sets that has been on the list, but at $70 was hard to pull the trigger on myself. So, if somebody were to give me $1,000 and say, here, go nuts on Lego, this is going to be one of those sets that I would like to get. All in all, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, these are 13 sets that I'm walking away with at $999.87. Right
Good
at
for you.
The $1,000 mark.
Proud of you.
This is where I'm going with it. And yes, I know that my list kind of is a head scratcher for some people, but these, again, I looked at sets that I would not probably go out and buy myself with my own money. These are sets that if somebody were to give me $1,000 in Lego cash and said, here, go nuts, go have fun, go shopping. These are sets I'm going to go buy with your money, Brian. When you give me $1,000,
my money.
When you give me $1,000,
when you give me $1,000, I'm gonna spend it on Bitcoin. That's what I'm gonna do.
Lego Cash. I've already said this. It's Lego. You can spend it nowhere.
Oh no, Lego came out with a crypto coin. They came out with that coin. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they had the whole click through thing, and you could.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian. Boy, I tell you what, man. How an hour just. It just goes. It just flies by. But for those of you that are currently in the chat here live with us on YouTube, stick around because during the pre-show, we want to hear if we gave you $1,000. What's going to be on your The pro show. What did I say? Pre-show? The post show. The post show.
Like his first time doing a podcast, y'all. Come on. By the way, subscribe to the new channel. That is where we will be broadcasting from beginning in 2025. Make sure you're there. That's where we're actually going to be uploading all of the old episodes. So everything is going to be all in one place. Probably not the short, maybe the short form. I don't know. We'll see.
But all of the everything.
Move everything over. That, by the way, that's Zach's project, by the way.
It's my project.
But yeah, go.
It's my job.
Subscribe there.
I'm hoping I can just work on it on my laptop and just carry it with me wherever I go.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
That's kind of my plan. Mr. Rick O'Brien, thank you so much for another fantastic, amazing, great show. For those of you that are again here still on Twitch or on YouTube with us,
get the end the show. We'll see you next week, everybody.
God.
Just close it out. We're done. We're done. Close
We're
it
done.
Out.
All right. Bye.